Hello friends, it's about 11 o'clock on Friday and I just decided to do an impromptu reading vlog because it's been forever since I've done one. I was actually planning to go away this weekend. I was going to leave in a few hours actually and go see my mom and my sister who live about an hour away, and then we were going to drive together with my niece who's about 3 months old to the mountains. Not 3 months old, she's 8 months old. I don't know why I said that. I guess she's 3 months old in my heart still. She just feels like a newborn baby still. We're going to have a little girls trip this weekend. But we found out it was snowing like crazy where we were going. And we live in North Carolina, so we're not used to driving in the snow a lot. So it snows a little bit and we all kind of just freak out. But so we decided that it was best not to go on this trip. So I'm really bummed right now. I was hoping to spend some time with my mom and my niece and my sister, and it was just gonna be a really good weekend, but you know, what can you do? I am a little bit relieved as well because I was kind of freaking out about how we were gonna get there, and the driving was making me anxious. So on one hand, I am a little bit relieved, but I'm sad that I'm not gonna be able to spend that time with them. But I'm trying to look on the bright side, and I realized, okay, so now I'm gonna be here this weekend, which means for one, I get to go to this fun thing that I love to go to every year that my church hosts called Lessons and Carols, and it's basically a time where we all get together and we sing Christmas carols and Christmas hymns, and it just kind of gets you in the right mindset for the holiday season. So I'll get to do that tomorrow, and I will maybe bring you guys along on that. And then also that means that I have more time to read this weekend. So I'm trying to look at the bright side. And so yeah, I just kind of figured why not bring you guys along with my reading as well. It's supposed to snow here too tomorrow, and it is raining right now. It might turn into sleet. So who knows, you might see a little snow on the vlog too. So yeah, like I said, it's almost noon on Friday. I have some work today. I planned to only work till 3 o'clock because that's when I was going to drive to see my mom and sister. So that might mean that I have an early Friday today. I definitely could keep working till like 6 o'clock because I have so much work. This kind of just happens, I'm sure, if you have freelancers in your life or if you're a freelancer yourself, you probably know what it's like around the holidays to wrap up a bunch of different projects before December 22nd, if you're me. So I have a lot going on this month and I haven't had a whole lot of time to read. But this is also my first year ever setting a Goodreads goal. And while I'm not like particularly stressed about meeting that goal, if I don't meet it, it's going to be fine. I would like to meet it just because, I don't know, I like that there's a goal that pushes me to read good books. If I didn't have that Goodreads goal, I wouldn't have read so many amazing books this year. And so in a lot of ways, I know that I'm going to regret it if I don't stay focused on my reading this month. So I have a lot of work this month. I have a lot of reading that I would like to get done. I have some social engagements going on this month, some travel plans. But this weekend, just this weekend, I want to devote to reading. I'm trying to wrap my mind around the fact that I'm not going away this weekend. And as you can see, spontaneity is not my thing really, and in the meantime I'm just gonna work. As you can see, why is my Christmas light not on? Why are my Christmas lights not on? I need to fix that immediately. And also check out Remus. Look how cute he is. Oh, stretch! This vlog is gonna be entirely Remus. Also, here's our tree, right? Look at this picture of Aaron as a little kid. Is this not the cutest / funniest thing you've ever seen? I love it. Look at those cheeks. That's better, isn't it? Also, we got a little cat tree. I shouldn't say little, it's huge. Look at this cat tree for Remus. We're officially those people. I would say it's for Scout as well, but she's not the biggest fan of it. Maybe because Remus climbs it and pushes her off, so because he's kind of a jerk. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to some work and some kitty snuggles. Check in with you guys in a bit. Okay, it's really dark because it's cloudy outside, but I wanted to take a break from editing to show you what Remus does while I work all day. He just snuggles up in my lap. And if you can hear that, that's the Harry Potter ambient noise in the background, which is what I love to listen to while I edit. So, a little snippet of my life. It's not too shabby.
Hey guys, so it's about 4:30 at night. I'm so sorry for the terrible lighting. It is so dark outside. It's been raining or sleeting, maybe even nonstop. I just finished up my work for the day, for the week. I don't have to work this weekend, which is so nice. And I'm about to go clean my kitchen, which you can't even really tell right now how dirty it is, but I've got a lot of clutter to pick up. I've got to clean the kitchen, got to fold some laundry. I'm trying to make myself do that before I start reading, because I like to kind of go into the weekend with a clean home.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
And now I'm settling in to fold some laundry. I'm gonna try to see what I can get done before Aaron gets home, which should be around 6 o'clock, maybe. I am listening to Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick, and it's just a quick read or listen. I think it was like a total of maybe 6 hours. I'm not really sure, 6 or 7 hours. And I have about 4 hours left. So I'm just kind of slowly chipping away at that. I think I'm gonna listen to it while I fold some laundry here. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I love her narration. She's just such a funny person in general.
Okay, so I finished my laundry. I folded it and put it all away. The house is clean. I can't tell you how happy this makes me on a Friday night. I know that makes me sound really dorky, but I just really love going into the weekend with a clean home. Aaron is still not here. He stopped at Costco on the way home from work to get some food for dinner, and I am about to make myself a drink. Cheers. Oh, I totally forgot that I was halfway in between 2 books from Cancun when I went to Cancun. I'm halfway through Crazy Rich Asians, which I'm loving. And also I'm like 150 or so pages into Sweet Far Thing by Libba Bray. I'm thinking I'm probably not gonna pick up Sweet Far Thing until January, just because it's a really big book and I have so many other books that I wanna finish before the year ends. But I think I'm gonna pick up Crazy Rich Asians and keep trucking along on that one. Let's do this thing.
So let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Yeah. Really? Is that so?
Good morning, it's Saturday morning. It's like 8:30, I think. I've been up for a little while, which is kind of unusual. I just made some coffee, but I figured I'd catch you up on the rest of last night. I didn't end up reading Crazy Rich Asians for very long. Aaron came home and we made some dinner, and then we had some ice cream and watched a movie. We watched The Glass Castle, which, guys, I was not prepared. I was not emotionally prepared for that. It's one of my favorite, sorry, I'm pouring my coffee right now. It's one of my favorite books, memoirs more specifically. And so I was really nervous that I wasn't gonna like it, but I loved it. You guys can see my camera set up right there. And now I'm gonna take my coffee and I'm gonna go sit down and read. This is my favorite time to read in the morning on a Saturday. Remus loves to fetch. Good job, buddy. The way I'm dressed right now, you would think it's like below 0, but it's not. It's like 30 or 40 degrees out here. So Aaron and I are on our way to run some errands. He has to get some pants tailored. And I am going to pick up some books at the library. And we actually, I had every intention to read a lot this morning, but I ended up just reading a little bit. And then Aaron and I watched Poppy videos, or That Poppy videos on YouTube for like a good hour. And it was the creepiest thing. Isn't That Poppy just the weirdest thing you've ever seen on YouTube?
Yes.
It's very weird, but we couldn't stop watching. It was like a train wreck. Like, you just have to watch, you know. Hello, hi. I am waiting in the car while Aaron gets his pants tailored. But I wanted to share with you the books that I got at the library because it's kind of random. It's definitely a random mix. I'm trying to put my phone somewhere so I don't have to hold it. There we go. So first of all, I'm so annoyed because I've been wanting to read this middle grade series for a while, but I couldn't figure out which book came first. And I actually picked up the second book in the series, and I haven't read the first one, so I'm kind of annoyed with myself. I couldn't figure it out by just reading about it, which is a pet peeve of mine. I wish it would just say what number it is clearly on the book. But it's probably one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen, and that's Witchwood by Tahira Mafi, which I know a lot of you are familiar with. I never read the Shatter Me series or anything else by her. I think that she's really cool. I follow her on Twitter, but I've never read anything by her. So I picked this up because I've heard really good things. She Might Be Monica, I'm pretty sure, read this and loved it. She's on a middle grade, whimsical middle grade kick right now, and all of the covers that I got at the library today are definitely match that description of like whimsical middle grade. But yeah, I just can't get over this cover. So I'm gonna have to get the first one, Furthermore, and then start this one. So, oh well. The next one I got is Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow, which I haven't heard anything of. I may have been thinking of Tahira Mafi with this title. It's very similar, Furthermore, Nevermore. But I saw good things on Goodreads with this one, and I mean, it's another middle grade. I think it might be, yeah, it's a debut novel. It's supposed to be charming, delightful adventure story, spellbinding debut. But other than that, I don't really know much about it, except that it seems to give off some Percy Jackson, Harry Potter vibes. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. It's a little bit chunkier, but it is middle grade. So I also picked up The Red Notebook by Antoine Loring. Not really sure. This one seems really cute, light and fluffy. It's short. I think it's about a person who finds a handbag in Paris, maybe, just like on the street, and wants to return it to the owner, but then ends up finding this notebook inside and sort of like falls in love with the person who wrote in it, I guess. And that's kind of all I really know about this one. But it looks like a light and fluffy, cute, fast read. I also picked up The Little Prince because I have not read this in so long. I mean, since I was a kid, and I watched the Netflix movie, and it was so cute and beautiful. And yeah, this is obviously a short one that I want to read to add to my Goodreads goal, but I feel like I don't read enough chapter books, picture books, short kid books that are really beautiful. And even though these are targeted toward children, obviously, I don't know, I just really love to pick up beautiful books with beautiful illustrations in them. I just don't read enough illustrated books. And as an editor, I work on a lot of chapter books and middle grade books, but I don't get to enjoy the full finished product with the illustration very often. So I just know that this is a sweet book that's perfect for Christmas time, so I'm really excited to read that. Continuing on with the whimsical children's book vibes, we've got The Secret of Nightingale Wood by Lucy Strange, which I know nothing about. I just saw this cover at the library and fell in love with it. And I think I read that there were some pretty good reviews on Goodreads, I'm pretty sure. All I know is that it's pretty poetic. It's apparently pretty heartbreaking and charming and just a story of triumph. That's all I really know, honestly. I think it deals with family grief, maybe, but I just think this cover is so beautiful, so I'm gonna give it a go. I like to give books some blind dates every now and then to see. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Look at that. By the way, this is not like an actual book haul or library haul because I really know nothing about these books, and usually I try to get at least a quick synopsis to share for book hauls and stuff like that. But anyway, the next book I have is another whimsical looking cover, Snow and Rose, and I actually saw this
on Goodreads and put it on hold at the library because I thought it looked so interesting and totally up my alley. It's sort of got a fairy tale vibe to it, and it's about two sisters, which if you know me, you know that I love sister stories. The inside blurb says, Snow and Rose were two sisters as different as night and day. They lived in the woods, but it hadn't always been so. Once they lived in a big house with spectacular gardens and an army of servants. Once they had a father and a mother who loved them more than the sun and moon. But that was before their father disappeared into the woods and their mother disappeared into sorrow. This is their story and the story of the enchanted woods that have been waiting for them to break a set of terrible spells. Snow and Rose is a reimagining of the classic but little known fairy tale Snow White and Rose Red. Best-selling author illustrator Emily Winefield Martin has created a world that sits on the border of enchantment with characters who are grounded in real emotions that readers will recognize in themselves. Doesn't that sound so good? And this cover is so beautiful. I love retellings of fairy tales. I think I'm really going to enjoy this, and it's a quick children's book that I can read before the year ends. So that's what I got at the library. Obviously, I'm not going to read all of them this month. I might have to take Witchwood back because obviously it's the second book in the series, and I don't think I'm going to get to the first one with all the other books that I want to read. I don't know if anyone else gets like this at the end of the year, but I feel like it's not so much pressure, but it's more like feeling overwhelmed by the choices of just the TBR that you've set for yourself for the year, or I don't know, it's like you want to finish the year out strong with books that you really love, and so I want to read all of these great books, and so what I end up doing is feeling really scatterbrained, and I don't settle on one book, or I read like 5 books at once and I get halfway through all of them, but I don't finish them. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, let me know. I think that that's why January and February end up being really strong reading months for me, because I'm starting the year out fresh and I'm giving myself more freedom to read books that are maybe a little bit more, I don't know, more of a gamble. I end up reading larger fantasy books in January and February. I end up reading books that that I've been putting off for a really long time, but for some reason at the end of the year I read books that feel more urgent to read to wrap up the year. I don't know if that makes any sense. It definitely makes me think about the conversation that's been happening in the booktube world lately about reader fatigue, that Elena, her channel Tall Tales, she posted a video about it. Ariel Bissett posted a video about, are we becoming too competitive with our reading and with the booktube and Goodreads world? And yeah, I don't really have any strong opinions about it. I've loved all of the discussion so far, and I've just been kind of nodding along with everyone. I don't feel like I am really placing a lot of pressure on myself to read certain books, or you know, I don't feel like I'm going to be disappointed with myself if I don't reach my Goodreads goal. But it is fun to me to have a little bit of a competitive edge to it, which is interesting because I'm not a competitive person in my everyday life. Like, I'm not competitive with board games or sports or anything like that. But I do enjoy the push with reading. And I think the reason is because I'm such a mood reader and I'm such a slow reader, that if I didn't push myself, I would not have read so many amazing books this year that I've read. I've really enjoyed so many of the books that I've read, and I honestly believe that if I hadn't done my Goodreads goal, because this is the first year I've done a Goodreads goal, I just feel like if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have had the experiences that I've had, the reading experiences that I've had. So while I totally agree that as booktubers and bookish internet people, we place a lot of pressure on ourselves and there is this competitive nature to it, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I don't know. I think that if it stresses you out personally, if you start to have anxiety with reading a certain number of books, or feeling like you have to read a certain number of books, or apologize if you don't read a certain number of books, I think that that is definitely not a healthy place to be in, and you know, you shouldn't have that kind of pressure on yourself. No one should
make you feel that way. I'm just not one of those people who's like, I've only read 6 or 7 books this month. I definitely feel accomplished and excited when I've read 6 or 7 books in a month, because my like average is probably 4 books a month. That's like a good month for me, actually. We're all here because we love reading, right? And we're trying to share that love of reading, and it's a community, so we're encouraging each other to read. And I think sometimes that competitive spirit it has good intentions, right? Like we want to encourage each other and push one another to read books, read great books, and sometimes it can be overwhelming with how many great books there are in the world and how many that we want to keep reading. If anything, I feel like I get anxiety thinking about all of the amazing books that I want to read in my lifetime that I'm not going to be able to read. That's why I have no problem DNFing books, because life is too short. You shouldn't waste any time on books that you're not enjoying. I'm rambling so much. This vlog is gonna be so long. In fact, I may split this vlog up. So if you've stuck around this long, thanks for watching, and I will be back with part 2 of my reading vlog from this weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!